if one of your goals for this year was to change your financial situation, so build wealth, make more money, save more money, invest your money, whatever the goals may be in relation to your finances, this is the number one thing that you need to focus on if you want to truly achieve that money goal this year. For those of you who are new here, my name is Tessa Bella, aka Billion Dollar Bella, and I am on a mission to help you make, manage, and multiply your money. My biggest goal in life is to help people truly enter that rich girl era while remaining soft. You don't have to be in this crazy hustle bustle grind in order to achieve true financial freedom and live the life that you want to. And so that is what my channel is all about. If you're new here, be sure to drop a comment below. Let me know where you're tuning in from, subscribe, and explore all of the resources that are available down in the description. Let's dive right into the number one thing, the most important thing if you want to truly achieve your money goals this year and build long-term wealth. This is the most important thing to focus on, and I think it's often overlooked or at least overcomplicated. And that is to stop worrying about a specific dollar amount or a specific number of debt you want to pay down or money you want to save or income you want to create, and start focusing instead on ratios. And that is looking at the ratios of what my money looks like. So in business, a lot of times this is called a P&L or a profit and loss. You're going to look at the profit for the month, the loss for the month. You're going to calculate things like expenses. You're going to understand what your total net revenue or net profit was versus your gross profit or your gross revenue. You're going to look at all of these different numbers. It's not just money going into my bank account, money coming out of my bank account. But for most consumers, that's a lot of times really the only things that we're looking at. And so when I talk about ratios and building wealth, this is one of the things that helped me the most, because I also personally don't love to function on a strict budget. It's never worked for me. It's just not the way that I personally want to live my life. There are some people who thrive with a super strict budget, but I just don't. And so again, I like to find solutions that I know are going to work for me long term. And so the ratio tool is really something that I think can help a lot of people, whether you are or are not a budgeter. It'll help you get more in the groove of really understanding the value of the money and where you're placing it. So there's a bunch of different ratios, numbers that you may have heard. There's all kinds of different rules and things like that you'll see on the internet. There's like the 80-10-10 rule. There's the 70-20-10 rule. There's all these different ones, I think that was right, of rules to operate from, but you need to design your own. And so what you want to think about and figure out is your true exact expenses, your true what you want to save for savings, what you need to set aside for taxes if it's not, already pulled out of your traditional like paychecks and things like that. You'll need to set aside things for fun, for travel, for investments. There's all of these different categories. I do have a really simple sheet that I've included down in the description if you want to use it, just to help you kind of map out what that looks like. But I encourage you to take some time and truly map out all of these numbers. Look at least the last 3 months of your life and see where the majority of your money is gone, where the majority of your money has come from, and what you want to be spending your money on. If you have goals to invest more frequently or to set more aside into savings or college funds for kids or travel funds, or you want to invest in something, that is totally fine. But the way you're going to get to that goal faster is by mapping it out. So outline all of this and then start to determine what the ratios are for which you need to allocate the incoming money to those different principles. Here's a quick example. Let's just say, for the sake of round numbers, you've got $5,000 coming in every single month, and $2,000 of that needs to go to your expenses. Again, that's just round numbers. That may be totally off from where you are. $1,000 of that goes to savings, and then you've got an additional $2,000 that can go to other things. Maybe that's car payment, maybe it's, student loans, maybe it's paying down or off credit cards, maybe some of it goes into a savings fund or a travel fund or whatever it may be. Now you need to get specific with where all of that money is going in that additional kind of capital. Then you can actually, in most cases, now you will have to check with your actual bank or credit union, but in most cases, you can actually set it up to automatically deposit your money into these specific ratios for your accounts. If I were to go make a deposit of say $1,000 into your main account at say Wells Fargo, you can actually set it up to automatically pull 20% of that and put it in this account, 20% of that goes in this account, 10% goes in this account, etc. So you can set up these little sub accounts. Now, You don't need to get crazy with it. You don't need like 55 different sub accounts, but it can be really helpful to at least have a few different buckets and where you're keeping your money so that you can physically see how close you are to achieving some of these goals. So that's the ratio rule number one. The second thing is, of course, if we want to increase our income, we need to make sure that the percentage between what we have coming in and what we have going out on a monthly basis is vast enough to actually allow us to get ahead. If those numbers are too close and there's not a lot of wiggle room in there, you can obviously see how that's going to be challenging to get closer to your savings or investment goals because there's not a lot of wiggle room. So you want to find ways to increase that income, and there are a few ways to do it. Now, of course, if you work a more traditional job or career, you may want to go to your boss or employer and discuss some opportunities for increasing your payment there. Maybe it's bonus structures, and maybe it is a raise at a certain end of the fiscal or calendar year. Maybe it's an opportunity for added shifts, additional hours, a different role, etc. You always want to be exploring those options. And if there's not opportunity or at least a path for growth at your current career or current employer, that may be an indicator that you want to look at something that does provide you the opportunity for growth or other avenues to go down. If you don't have a typical kind of standard employment agreement and you've maybe got some additional time, you could look at picking up additional jobs, starting a side hustle, or my personal favorite, which is to set up some online income. I'm a big believer that absolutely everyone should have at least one source of online income, even if it's a small amount extra every single month. Online income is one of the easiest things to build and scale in a pretty short amount of time. In fact, right now I'm on a mission. I just launched a brand new online income stream. I've got multiple. This is a brand new one that I just built and launched in the last week. And so far, it's the end of the week, we've accomplished $6,547 in my first week of setting something up and launching it. So that's a totally brand new from scratch model. And my goal is to scale that up to $60,000 a month within the next 90 days. And I'm more than confident that we're gonna be able to do that. So if you wanna follow along on how I'm doing it and use the exact strategy to implement in your own life, I've included a free online income masterclass down in the description. You can click that link, watch the free masterclass. It'll give you a full overview of the strategy that I'm using and how you can implement it too in order to see results like that. So I definitely encourage you to take a look at it and then drop any of the questions that you have down in the comments. But this ratio rule, these two different rules of ratios and kind of just making sure that you have enough of a spread are, in my opinion, some of the most important ways to really change your financial situation over the next little bit. So hopefully that was helpful to you guys. As a reminder, my goal is to help you make, manage, and multiply your money. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for being here. It means the absolute world to me, and I will see you on the next one.